Most people think they have time. They do not. The average home has 3 days of food. That is not a buffer. That is a countdown. And by the time you realize you need emergency food, the shelves are already empty. Here is what almost nobody understands. Survival food is not about calories. It is about keeping your mind intact when everything else falls apart. The foods that last longest are not random. They follow a pattern, and that pattern reveals something most preppers completely miss. Let me show you 18 foods that can outlast you. Starting with the least obvious, cooking oils. 2 to 3 years of shelf life does not sound impressive, but fat is the hardest macronutrient to store long term. Without it, your body cannot absorb vitamins A, D, E, or K. Most emergency plans ignore this completely. Bouillon cubes, 5 to 10 years. Tiny, light, almost weightless. But they turn bland rice into something that tastes like a meal. In a crisis, that psychological shift matters more than you think. Canned vegetables, 5 to 10 years when stored properly. Not exciting, but micronutrients disappear fast when fresh food runs out. These are your insurance policy against deficiency. Canned meats, same time frame, 5 to 10 years. Protein dense, shelf stable, ready to eat cold if necessary. Most people underestimate how quickly muscle wastes without adequate protein. Ramen noodles, 10 years. Everyone dismisses these as junk food, but they are lightweight, calorie dense, and familiar. Familiarity matters when stress is high. Your brain craves what it knows. MREs, military-grade meals ready to eat. 5 to 10 years of shelf life. Complete nutrition in a single package. No cooking required. These exist because soldiers learned that morale collapses without real meals. And this is where it changes. Powdered milk. 20 years or more when sealed properly. Calcium. Protein. Vitamin D. Try finding those in most emergency foods. Children especially need this. Most storage plans forget about growing bodies entirely. Instant coffee. 20 plus years. This is not about caffeine. It is about routine. The simple act of making coffee in the morning signals normalcy to your nervous system. That signal is worth more than most people realize. Freeze-dried fruits. 25 years. Vitamin C disappears from most long-term storage options. Scurvy is not a historical curiosity. It is what happens when you plan for calories, but forget about nutrients. Now we reach the foods that can outlast generations. White rice. 30 years minimum when stored in airtight containers. Cool and dry conditions are essential. This is the foundation of emergency calories worldwide. Billions of people already know this works. Oats. Also 30 years. Fiber dense, heart healthy, and one of the few breakfast options that actually stores well. Morning routines matter more than most survival guides admit. Lentils. 30 years. Complete protein when combined with grains. No meat required. Lightweight. Compact. Nutrient dense. Wheat berries. Same time frame. These are whole wheat kernels. Grind them fresh and you have flour that actually tastes like something. Most stored bread products go stale fast. Wheat berries solve that problem entirely. Most people do not see this. Peanut butter lasts well past its printed date. Sealed properly, it remains edible for years beyond what the label suggests. Calorie dense, protein rich, and psychologically powerful. This is comfort food that actually delivers nutrition. Children will eat it when they refuse everything else. White vinegar does not expire, not in any meaningful time frame. Use it for preservation, cleaning, disinfecting. One bottle serves multiple survival functions. Sugar and salt last indefinitely. These are not just flavor enhancers. They are preservation tools. Salt curing and sugar preservation kept humanity alive for millennia. They still work. But here is what matters. Number 2 on this list challenges everything you thought you knew about expiration dates. Honey. Archaeologists found 3,000-year-old honey in Egyptian tombs. It was still edible. Not technically edible. Actually edible. Antibacterial properties. Wound treatment potential. Instant energy. And it never spoils if you keep moisture out. 3,000 years. That is not a shelf life. That is a statement about the nature of preservation itself. Which brings us to the most important item on this list. It is not a single food. It is the storage method. Airtight containers, dry conditions, cool temperatures. Without these 3 factors, everything else fails. Rice rots. Honey crystallizes and absorbs moisture. Oats go rancid. The food is only as good as the container protecting it. This is what separates people who prepare from people who think they have prepared. The real crisis is not running out of food. It is realizing too late that your stored food became useless because you cut corners on storage. Here is the broader picture. 3 days of food in the average home. 18 items that can last decades or longer. And one simple principle that determines whether any of it actually works. Preparation happens before you need it, or it does not happen at all. The question is not whether disruption will come. It is whether you will have options when it does.